Hello and welcome to Master It Monday with Master It Media. Today I have the honor of a very special guest. I'd like to introduce you to Melanie Sessa. Hello, Melanie. How are you?
Hi, Maggie. How are you? I'm so excited to be here.
I am so excited to have you on our show today. I would love you to tell our listeners a little bit about you and what you do and who you are.
Oh, well, thanks so much. So I am two things. I'm two things. Well, a lot of things. A network marketing leader with the mental wellness company. I've been in the network marketing industry for 18 years. I am a former corporate marketer. I am a part-time business professor, and I'm also a marketing coach to help people use social media the right way to grow their businesses effectively on these platforms.
Wonderful. And I'm so excited to introduce our listeners to Melanie today because Melanie is doing something amazing. She has a Facebook over 40 group and she's helping businesses grow their Facebook, their followers and engagement on social media using Facebook groups. And she has come up with some really fantastic ways to help us leverage how to use Facebook groups, how to build our businesses. So I'm going to let her take the lead here today. And as always with Master It Monday, make sure that you say you're watching us, leave questions or comments. Melanie is going to be here to answer any questions that you might have on Facebook groups as well. So please use this forum for that. And we'll also be checking back if you're following us on Facebook or on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to us with the link below and ask questions because Melanie will be answering them after the event if you're watching this on replay. So we're going to, Melanie, I'm going to add your presentation and we're ready to go.
Thank you, Maggie. So today we're just going to do a real quick overview on how to use Facebook groups to grow your business. I have been able to monetize my Facebook group. Maggie mentioned it's Facebook After 40. And I'm going to just go over some simple strategies that you can start today to go ahead and grow your business. Hey, Vanessa, to grow your business on social media utilizing Facebook groups powerfully. So the next slide is just a Maggie, am I controlling it or are you?
I think, is that me?
Yep. I can go ahead and do it.
There you go. No, I think it's on your end, Melanie.
Okay. Whoops. Do you see the presentation?
No. Let's add it. Sorry, technology issues.
Okay, we'll get it. Hold on.
There we go.
Okay. Got it. All right. Do you see that screen? How to use Facebook groups to grow your business? All right. Awesome. That's me. I already introduced myself, so I don't have to bore you with that. So Facebook groups, ladies and gentlemen, is where it is at right now on social. When you're working on social media, make sure you're aligned with someone like Maggie who knows what's going on and the current events and how Facebook is changing. Because right now, Facebook groups are it. And so today, I want to share with you 4 different types of Facebook groups that you can start thinking about to optimize your business. Now, why even do Facebook groups anyway? Well, number one, it compresses that like, know, and trust factor that's so important to get going in business, right? People first get to know you, then they like you, and then they're going to start trusting you. Well, when they're in a community, a Facebook group, where they're really going to know who you are, that is just going to accelerate that like, know, and trust factor. Okay. And the other reason to do Facebook groups is to offer continuous value, right? We want to educate, we want to inspire, we want to get people to be in a place where they want to know more about you and definitely do business with you in the back end. So anyways, 4 types of Facebook groups that you can start thinking about. Number one, personal branding. For people to get to really know who you are and the value that you offer if they decide to work with you in some way. Number 2, a prospecting group, where again you offer value, but the rationale is to bring customers in, to bring leads in. Number 3 is a customer support, and this is particularly for people who have a product-based business, right? Once a customer becomes a customer, then you can support them with regular promotions, regular information, and just tips and tricks for them to get the most out of or ordered from you or bought from you. And number 4 is a membership group. It's a paid group. Now, this is if you, I've seen it with coaching programs where they offer different levels of help And one of the lower levels, meaning less of an investment, is a membership group where they can still offer value, but people have to pay a monthly fee to be part of it. So that's four different types of groups. So which one will work better for your marketing strategy? That's up to you, and based on who, talking to your coach or talking to someone like Maggie. All right, so what are these 3 simple steps to optimize and build a Facebook group? Well, number 1, you need to set up your foundation. What are you going to talk about? How are you going to optimize it? What value are you going to have? Now, there are lots of different strategies to go about doing that, right? How you're going to attract your people is number 2, filling up your Facebook group. Now, in order to know who to fill up your Facebook group with, well, you have to know who your ideal customer is, right? And if you see me talk at any time, you know I'm a big stickler for you can't do anything until you know who you're talking to, who your ideal customer is. So filling up your Facebook group is number 2. That's the next step. Then number 3, creating engaging content that converts, right? The whole purpose of content is to convert people from either a cold market to a warm market, from a warm market to a customer, but it's always of converting them to bring them further down that sales funnel that you have, okay? So these are the 3 simple steps. Well, how the heck do we do that? Well, again, who are you talking to and what do you offer? Knowing who your target market is going to give you so much clarity on, number 1, the type of Facebook group to have. Number 2, what to even name your Facebook group. Remember, it's about your customer or about your prospect. It's not about you. So what is the value that you're going to offer? So for me, my Facebook group is called Facebook After 40. So who I'm drawing in are men and women, mostly women, who want to do this Facebook thing, right? They're usually, when you're over 40, over 50, social media was not really something you used if you weren't working for the business, right? You used it for maybe posting photos of your vacations, your kids, but you weren't using it for business. But now, if you've decided to join a network marketing company, open your own business, do something online with e-commerce, how do you do this Facebook thing? And so you need to understand how to optimize Facebook. And so you need someone like me who can offer you those tips, tricks, ideas, and real marketing techniques to grow your business online. I know who you are. I know what your pain points are. And so I've developed this Facebook group to help you move along that path. And every week I offer value and trainings to help you. So I know who my target market is. Number 2, what's your brand? Your brand is your unique ability. Your brand is how you solve the problem of your target consumer. So I know that I have marketing skill set that I can use to solve the Facebook thing problem that my ideal customer has, okay? So you have to think about for yourself, who am I serving and how do I serve them, okay? Who's your target and what's your brand? Once you get clarity around that, then you're gonna have tons and tons of ideas of what kind of a Facebook group to offer, okay? So now setting up your foundation. How do you do that? Well, we call that the 4 C's of a Facebook group. What's the community that you want to create? What's the value that you're going to offer in the content? Okay, so is it training? I recommend that once a week. Training. Is it testimonials? Is it engaging content for people to answer questions? Is it polls? So there's all sorts of content that you can use throughout the week to create that foundation, to create that community, and that works through content. You want to definitely have a way to elicit conversation. And there's some tips and tricks and ideas to do that. But the easiest way is to post what we call engagement posts. So you want content to be engaging, but engaging posts are actually eliciting conversation. Okay. And then number 4, you want conversion. You want people either to convert to customers, sales, business partners. Again, bringing them down that funnel, that sales funnel of awareness, evaluation, and then conversion. So you want to create a group that will make your prospect's life easier and more fulfilled. Again, what is the problem you're solving? How are you making their life easier? What can you teach them today to bring them farther down the road towards their goal? Okay, so that's your foundation. Now, setting up your group should not be about selling. I firmly believe that your group needs to be value-based. 80-20, like everything else in life. Non-selling, 80% is value, information, inspiration, how to make their life better. And then 20%, testimonials, before and afters, product focus. So that is what I think is so powerful about the Facebook group community. You want people to want to be there. They feel like they're part of something that's not salesy. All right, so then number 2, fill up your Facebook group. Again, understand the problems and show people how you solve them. And you do that through content to bring them into your group. So things like posts, stories in Facebook and Instagram, lives, which are the best way to compress that like, know, and trust factor. Other groups that you're in, you can create relationships there. And some groups let you advertise or promote your group in their group. I have a few groups that I'm a part of that let me do that. Your friends list. Who in your friends list is part of your target market? Birthday messages. And if you're not doing birthday messages, you need to start doing that now. That is a ninja hack where you can start communicating with people on a day that they're happy, hopefully. And then email. If you have an email list, you can invite people through your email list. And Facebook ads, which I put that way down because that's a paid strategy. You can build a massive business with all organic. Again, you need to be consistent about it though, okay? All right, so number 3, step 3, to monetize our Facebook group is engaging content that converts. So again, this content needs to be something for them. It needs to be something of value, something that's going to make their life easier. So the incentive has to be for your prospect, for them to want to join the group in hopes that it will solve their problem. So again, I named my Facebook group Facebook After 40. Within the title, it says who it's for and what it'll do for them, right? So I don't recommend you doing a Facebook group that is particularly about your product. Like, for example, if you sell athleisure, right? I wouldn't put a Facebook group out there that says Susie's workout clothes or workout clothes for moms. I wouldn't do that. You want to create a community that offers value in every aspect that ideal customer needs help in. So again, for me, Facebook After 40, I offer training on social media. I offer help in different areas of content creation, how to attract leads, actual marketing strategies that I teach to my students. So it's all around that. But again, these women are over 40, so they're dealing with some other issues that my other company helps with, mental wellness issues like brain fog and menopause and the afternoon slump. So I can weave those things in there, right? So think about the whole person that you want to attract, not just the sale you want to get from them, but how can you really serve them, love on them, and give them value that they can take to improve their life. And these are some of my tips in order to do that. Follow a content calendar. If you're not doing that already, that will help your life tremendously. If you don't know how to do that, reach out to me or reach out to Maggie or a business coach that you have, because it's a great way to compress time and get more out of it. Go live consistently. I'm a big fan of at least 3 times a week, but just start with 1 time a week. Always have a call to action when you put content out there. And a call to action does not mean, oh, drop a yes below if you want me to reach out to you or if you want to know more about this product. No, a call to action is just moving them into a different emotional state where they start considering this as an option for them. Watch parties are a great way to optimize your content. So for example, if you do a Facebook Live training, then later that night, replay it in a watch party. You get more bang out of your content. And then another idea in a group to optimize the content is to bring in a guest trainer where you get access to the guest trainer's audience. She or he gets access to your audience, but the goal is to give more value to your community that you're building in your Facebook group. All right, so the secret to creating profit in your Facebook group is offer valuable content daily. This will keep your group engaged and allow you to nurture them from a cold lead to a hot prospect. It's just like doing it offline, creating these relationships. Same as on social. Bring them through a journey with you. Know their likes, know their struggles, know their pains, know their desires, and serve them that way. And so what are your next steps? Well, if you want to get more deep dive into knowing more about Facebook groups or knowing about what I do or joining our group, just reach out to me. Again, the Facebook group is Facebook After 40. If you have any questions for me individually that I can help answer, that's my contact information. So thank you so very much for this opportunity.
Sorry, I muted myself so we wouldn't have background noise, and then I forgot. I guess that's the tagline for 2020. You're on mute. Um, so I wanted to thank you because you provided such valuable content. I think you all need to show Melanie some love in the chat down there, because that value is coming from Melanie's wealth of experience that she has in doing marketing, in doing, like, she walks the walk, she talks the talk, she's found these methods. They're proven because she does them and she gets results. Please feel free to leave any questions. Right now we'll answer them live. I have one for Melanie. So when you're doing your Facebook group, and somebody, you mentioned, your Facebook After 40, which is an amazing content generator. You provide a lot of value in there, as well as promoting other things that you do in your business, but that 80/20, right? What's what's the best thing somebody can do in their business when they're trying to figure out that ideal? I have my ideal client. You call it, if I'm not mistaken, an avatar, which I love that term, right? What People get stymied, right? What do I do? I'm a little lost. How do I come up with a great name or a great way of engaging my target audience?
Yeah, so that's an awesome question, and I hear it a lot. Think about what is the problem that you solve that they have, right? So
Yeah.
athleisure is not a problem, but feeling good in your own skin is. Knowing how to create content is a problem. I'll get that. But what is their real problem? They don't know how to do this Facebook thing.
Yeah.
So it's really like, what is the actual problem that you're solving? And you could be solving many, but you got to pick one, right? You can't do
You
it all.
pick one.
And just optimize on that. And believe me, once you get them into your group, it's I don't want to say the word it's forgiving, but it's forgiving. You can go off in different areas. I talk a lot about marketing things sometimes, not necessarily Facebook, but and it's forgiving, and people need that information, but you have to bring them in with something that they're going to like, oh, if I'm in there, I'm going to get this value.
Right. And we certainly don't want to wait till it's perfect, right? You go in there because you'll be waiting forever. Let's just be honest, right? Because technology is going to change. There's going to be something you're not going to know about. There's going to be a new thing, like the whole Facebook restructure that they went into the new look, just back in September, where they forced everybody to go new, right? It's throwing people off, but don't let it stop you, right? And I just want to shout out here. We've got Vanessa. She's my marketing coach. Speaking about Melanie, and I'm loving the process and what she's doing for my business, which is amazing. So thank you. Cameron's watching us. He has a question. What are easy ways to grow your brand page on Facebook?
So when you say brand page, are you talking about your business page?
Cameron, shoot that down. I'm going to go to the next question. I think that's what he's talking about. Let's just say your business Facebook page.
Yeah, so your business page. So this is again Facebook changing. I would rather grow on my personal profile and bring people over into my group, because the algorithm favors that. The business page, only 2 to 3% of your people are seeing it. That said, you can offer the same type of content depending on what your business page is about. I don't know what it's about, but you can go live on a regular basis. Do an episodic training. So set it up so that every Monday you're going live and doing some sort of value training that's going to be important for the people that are on your business page, that they're looking for that value, right? You can do challenges that are linked to your business page. Again, depending on your industry. So I do a 5-day social media challenge, and you can link that to your business page. If you're in a group, you can do it as a separate group, a pop-up group. So it's kind of the same type of content, Cameron, but the community aspect, the community feel is not really there. The benefit of a Facebook page is that you can do paid advertising off of it if that's part of your strategy. But to create that community and that like, know, and trust factor, it's more powerful right now in groups.
And then we have a question from Frank Bastone. Great information. Do you create the Facebook group with your individual or your business page?
Yeah, great question, Frank. So you need a business page to create a Facebook group. You can't create it off of your personal profile.
Great. Thank you for that. And we have Courtney Cox. How do you create daily valuable content without getting boring? The question of the year.
Yes. So again, really good question. And I have to go back to my target. What are they keeping them up at night? What are they struggling with? Right. And there's different categories of content that we can go off of. So what is it that we can engage with them? What is something that we can talk about that it's an experience they've had so they feel like-minded with us? Then what can I talk about that makes me the authority? So they'll look to me as someone who's like, oh, I want to know more about her and maybe I'll work with her. Right. And then there's something called a direct ask, which is maybe once a month, ask directly for them to do something for you, like join my event, or I have a survey. Do you want to be part of it? Do you want to take part in that? So it's, again, just creating that connection with them, that they're just like you, that they are going to look to you for authority, and then an engagement, just like your girlfriends. Like, ask them questions. So sometimes I do goofy questions like, oh, do you have white lights or colored lights on your tree? I mean, the amount of comments are great. And then there's strategies what to do with those comments to get conversations in. But again, it's all about that algorithm, getting content on there that people want to engage with. And you're not going to do that if you don't know who you're talking to.
Right. One of the things that I tell people all the time is social media is meant to be social, right? That's the secret. And think about it. If you were to go into a store and somebody, I don't know if you all remember the days in Bloomingdale's and stuff where you'd walk in the store and they'd spray you with perfume and buy this, this is great. If you go into a store and you're attacked immediately with a sales pitch and there's tons of for sale signs, discount signs all over the place, you start to say, well, I'm losing the experience, right? And in this day and age, right now, people are looking for the experience and they're looking for the ambiance of the place they're going to. Transfer that over to your social media. Think about your social the same way you would as if somebody was walking into your office or into a brick and mortar store. How would you connect with them? People want you to be authentic. And I stress this so much, authenticity. Be you, because you're amazing anyway. So why are you trying to be something you're not, or trying to put what you think they may want? Be you, offer your value, and go forward. So just following up, we've got Cameron had a question. So he's asking, should I not post content to a business page?
No, post content to your business page if that's where you want to grow. It's I find what's going on now on Facebook is that groups are creating better engagement. The algorithm is favoring that. But yes, if you want to grow on your business page, if you have a lot of likes on there, that you have a lot of people looking at your content or supposedly looking at your content, because that algorithm, who knows, definitely post content there. But if you don't have a group, I would start creating a group off of your business page.
So, Melanie, one of the please keep asking your questions. We have another few minutes to go. One of the things that I did with one of my businesses, my husband and I created a Facebook group for our community, our town, because we run Brewster Hamlet Hub. So we created a Brewster and Southeast, because they cover both the area, page, and we get a lot of engagement in there. But we also did something where we in the group, we had some security things put in place because we didn't want people to post content without it being approved. We didn't want it to become a sales pitchy kind of place. Businesses can do things once a week where they can promote on Thursdays. You have to be a member of the community or a past member. Like these kind of questions that people ask before they join the group. Do you recommend that with the type of Facebook group you're suggesting we create?
100%. It's so valuable. Number one, you're controlling the flow, right? Because like to your point, Maggie, about getting people posting in there. But the most important part about utilizing those membership questions is that you're going to be able to know what your target or what your members' problems are. So I ask people, what do you hope to get out of this group? What would you find is your biggest struggle on social media? They're giving me content for days with that, right?
Absolutely.
Know more about. And then I collect their email address. Email is so important. If Facebook ever goes out like it did last year for 24 hours, And us marketers were like, how do we even talk to our people?
Right.
Creating a lead magnet and opt-in or your group, letting people into your group only if they give you an email list, email address is prime. I have like about 30 people waiting to get into my group. I'm not letting them in. I'd rather have a lower engaged group than a huge group of people who just want to be in there.
Right, right. And I think we Cameron's putting down some numbers of what his groups his pages are doing, right, which is great. And then he says not a lot of engagement on either, to your point, right? So one of the things is I tell people, don't get hooked on the number, right? The number of followers isn't as important as the amount of love that you're getting, right? The amount of engagement, the amount of, because you could have and be wary when you're out there and you see a group that has 10,000 followers on it that's homegrown. That might not be, they can still buy likes, right? Facebook didn't change that with that, right? So they can buy likes, and then you're missing that whole authenticity piece and that whole real people piece, which is what you want. Because frankly, now you could have 200 followers and you have 50% of them are engaging on a monthly basis. That's better than having 10,000 followers, right? With 0.05% participating. I hope I did the math right on that. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like they're very the Facebook groups I find to be where when we talk about publishing content. So with Master It Media, we publish content for businesses where we get to know their target audience, and we develop the content and we publish it for them on their Facebook pages, on their business page, and all their other socials, right? But it's up to the individual to then take that content and share it. Now, where are they sharing it? Well, they can share it to their Facebook group. They can share it to other people's Facebook groups. But remember, it's about engagement. Like, don't just share it to other people's Facebook groups, right? They should be also doing things like looking at the Facebook group and engaging in the content of that Facebook group as well, which builds that trust with you, that you're not just somebody there throwing out information and then leaving, right? A hit and run.
Yeah, you want to create real relationships. And I've created incredible relationships in other Facebook groups, not mine, in mine too, but other Facebook groups by spending that time. Again, it's a quality over a quantity thing. And to your point, Maggie, that when you create content, you can repurpose content in so many different ways,
right,
to really optimize that investment in your time and energy, which is another topic we could do another time.
Yes, I know. And we can go on. Melanie is providing valuable information, but this is something where you learn and you grow. I encourage you to go to her Facebook Over 40 page and group, and engage there, ask her questions. To her point about that email address, is something that a lot of businesses don't do, and they need to, because once you get that email, then you can add them to your lists in your MailChimps or your constant contacts, right? The email is the key to getting to follow up with your people. Always ask, of course, I always ask, is it okay? Or state, by submitting this information, you'll be added to our newsletter list to receive more amazing free content, right? Which is where we're going with this, right? It's providing content. And then you provide I'm going to be doing this class, or I'm selling this product, or if you want to, right? It's all that, and then a little extra. Melanie, any final words of wisdom you'd like to give our listeners today?
Yeah, if you don't have a Facebook group, get one to ride this wave, and pick which of those 4 types works for you. My group is a personal branding group, right? Even though it's Facebook After 40, it's branding me as the expert in social media. And I've been able to convert a lot of group members to coaching clients in with my products in my network marketing company, and even partners in my network marketing company, because again, people do this with people they like, know, and trust. And that's where you can really optimize that in your Facebook groups.
Fantastic. Melanie, thank you again for joining us. As always, if you're watching this on replay, please make sure that you are putting down your questions. Melanie and I are both going to be tracking comments to make sure that we're answering your questions. Of course, you can reach out to either one of us via our contact information, Maggie at masteritmedia.com. And Melanie, can you share your email again with us, please?
Sessa at gmail.com. On Facebook, I'm Melanie H. Sessa and Melanie Sessa on the other platforms.
Fantastic. So that's our tips for the day. We hope you have found this helpful. Make sure you visit masteritmedia.com. If you're following us, like us on Facebook, subscribe to that to Master It Media on our YouTube. And as always, join us every Monday at 2 o'clock Eastern for Master It Monday. Have a fabulous day, everybody, and make sure you keep following us so we can help you take the commotion out of your promotion.
Bye, everyone.